Hey everybody, welcome. It's time for another What's in My Caboodle, or Caboodle Confessions, or whatever we decided to call this thing. It's my shop my stash video, basically. And I'm doing these every so often because I think it's a great reminder of certain products that have been in your collection, been kind of lurking in the back of your drawers that you haven't looked at for a while. You can pull some of those to the forefront, makes you think about them again and understand your collection better. I felt like I did a video that was sort of shop my stash oriented when I was talking about some of my longtime favorite things, like certain products I am glued to and how I want to use different eye primers, also different eyeliners, different loose powders, for example. And so those things I may not have specifically put here in this box because I basically just want to use everything in my collection where that's concerned, except the one thing that I've been glued to. So I guess my point here is if you like this kind of video where I talk about shop my stash and using what you have, you might go back and look at that one if you missed it. Also, I'm staring at this little blank zone right here where I can put my, I'm guessing my personalized nameplate that I have not yet registered for, but I need to do that. I've got the paperwork right over here. I knew I was going to struggle with getting that done, but I am going to do it because I want that. So just opening this up, this is what it looks like. I believe the last time I did this, I gave some good shots of what the whole interior of the caboodle looks like, but this is old school, and I loved this. I saw this on Ulta's website. I'm like, what? They're selling the old school mint green and lavender caboodles? I need one. And then this became just the perfect purpose for it. So I'm just going to go through and tell you what I have in here. Number one, the foundation that I had in here last time, one of the foundations I just didn't get around to using, so it's staying in. It's gonna live in here for like another month or so. It's the Lottie London Selfie Ready Medium Coverage Foundation, and I am wearing that today. I really like this foundation. It was just a situation where I tested it, I determined that I liked it, and I didn't come back to it. So it's really good stuff, so I'm glad that's there, and I wear golden, by the way. A few things from Julep that are kind of like makeup prep steps, and I know these are newer things, but sometimes that's what I do when I shop my stash. I look for some new things that I really want to make a point to put on. So the No Excuses Invisible Sunscreen Gel for face, this is SPF 40. I did put this on today, and it's really awesome. It puts basically no added weight on your skin, like if you've already moisturized and your moisturizer doesn't have SPF, which I've got some great moisturizers that I love that don't have it, so this is really awesome to have for that. Two different Julep primers also, the illuminating and the mattifying. Today I tried the mattifying. I didn't see like instant results on my skin from that. Like I just moisturized quite a bit and then I put this on and I was looking up close like, okay, when's it gonna get matte? Maybe it's just that it's gonna keep me more matte, keep me more shine free throughout the day, I'm not sure, but both say treatment primer, illuminating treatment primer, mattifying treatment primer, so we'll see. Another interesting makeup prep type thing is strobe cream from MAC, and I have several of like the different tones of it. For example, this is the pink one, this is called Pink Light. So strobe cream really just feels a lot like a moisturizer, but with these different tones that they have, oops, it's on my sleeve. The different tones that they came out with give it just like, I don't know, a little bit of a tinted sheen when it hits the light. So I can see a slight bit of pinkness there, but I thought that might be really brightening. Maybe good to use paired with other moisturizers or kind of on top of the skin for a dewy look. Let me know, what's your favorite way to use MAC strobe cream, because I definitely have some of it on hand. I did toss several concealers into my little box here that I really want to use. I'd mentioned a couple of these in the last video. The Bobbi Brown Instant Full Cover Concealer. The one thing I don't like about this is when you take it right out of the tube, it's like only the tip has product on it and nothing else, and I feel like I'm always going back to add more. Maybe that's their hint that you don't need to use much. Anyway, I'm still trying that. The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Today I did put on some more of this LA Girl Pro Conceal in the Peach Corrector shade, and I didn't use too much of it. I think the last time when I thought it was borderline dark, I used maybe a little more than I needed, but I've got it right where my circles are the darkest, and it just doesn't seem to have the coverage that Erase Paste does, or that Boing Brightening Concealer does. What can I say? Like, that's my result so far. But here's another interesting concealer that I found in my stash that I want to use. It's the Amazonian Clay Waterproof 12-Hour Concealer in Light Sand. It's a little stick from Tarte. what is this? Like, when did I get this? And it is a really smooth, really nice coverage concealer stick. Like, I really like it. I think it may have come in like an Amazonian Clay PR bundle around the time that their stick foundations came out. I think they sent this, but that doesn't necessarily mean this is a super new product to their line or anything. But it's definitely flown under the radar. I mean, I know Shape Tape gets all kinds of praise, but I haven't heard much about this one, and I really, really liked it, and we'll see how it wears today, because I put that on the under eye, I put it in a lot of different places. Here's a powder that I've had in my collection for what seems like a long time that I want to use more. It's from Lorac. It's the Lorac Pro Blurring Translucent Pressed Powder. I've gotten so much use out of my Lorac contour palette, and I figured for as much as I like the texture of their powders, I should be giving this a shot too. It's very smooth, although you know how I feel. These translucent powders do give off some amount of color. But I'm going to use a little bit of it actually, just like setting in here. I don't know, around the T-zone maybe. Note to self, when your makeup has been freshly applied, you might not need to add too much more powder. But it comes with a really nice little soft sponge. Like, it's super soft, very velvety feeling. And a magnetic closure, can't beat that. I'm such a goofball for the magnetic closures. What is it about that? I love them. A couple of contouring products that I found that I haven't used in the longest time. I've got the Catrice Prime and Fine Professional Contouring Palette. I did use the contour shade today. Well, I used the highlight too. The highlight just didn't show up very much. So the contour is right in here and kind of around my hairline. It's a really nice tone. But I put on the highlight and it's super duper faint. I think even if you like subtle highlights, that might not be enough for you. So I did put on top of that a little bit of the glow shade from the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I forgot how much I love this duo, so I'm definitely out to use this some more. And so the highlight that you are seeing on my cheeks is pretty much this shade, and that is just glorious. I love that. A couple of little eye palettes that I wanted to pop in here are from Beauty Treats, and I recall really enjoying these, actually being pleasantly surprised by these. They were a Five Below find, so if you don't know about Five Below, that's a store where everything is $5 or below. And they really have a ton of makeup, a lot of palettes, a lot of things that kind of make you scratch your head and say, is that really going to be good? Do I really need to try that? But these are awesome little palettes. So I have this one that's like the warmish neutral, well, warm and cool neutrals really. And then I've got this one that I've used a little bit less, but it's got some browns and purples and blues. There's a really nice mauve, as I recall, like right up here in this palette. Quality, affordable stuff, and I want to use those some more. I also grabbed out some shadow singles, and that's what I used to create my look today. And I hear you guys who want to see another singles cruise. Should I contact Kristen and see if she's up for it? It's just fun to do that kind of stuff with a friend, you know? But what I'm wearing today, I first took my Bobbi Brown single in Cognac, and that's this beautiful, like kind of warm reddish brown, and I've got that in my crease and outer corner. What actually caused me to want to dive into my single shadows, specifically my Bobbi Brown, is a beautiful Bobbi Brown palette that my girl Erica gave to me for Christmas. Caviar and rubies, just beautiful neutrals, pretty shades, and I'm enjoying that, and it made me want to see what else I had Bobbi Brown related in my eyeshadows. And also, if you want to see like a Christmas and birthday haul, I can do that, and I've been really thinking about doing it, but I really wanted to use the stuff a bit more, so I could kind of have some things of value to share with you, if that makes sense. But I love this color. This is a metallic eyeshadow, but it works so nicely in the crease. And then deepening up my crease even further, I have Black Plum on, just kind of in the outside, like the outermost area, blended and buffed way out. Like, that shade can go super duper dark, but very nice quality there. And then I pulled out several of my metallics paints. These may sound familiar from my video where I was talking about products that seem more expensive than they are. Like, these are fantastic eyeshadows. I've loved this taupe. I think that's called Caged. I took the sticker off though. I've got Brass Knuckles, which is a little bit of a dirty bronze shade. And then today on my lids, I've got the Rose Chrome. I mean, that color, when I swatched it, looking back on the video where I talked about these, I was like, I did not do that justice. But just patted and applied on the lids, I think it's gorgeous. I love it so much. I've got it kind of around the inner corner too. That shade is very sheared out as an under the brow highlight as well. And then I kind of stopped there with the eye look. I opted not to do much really really on the lower lash line. But one other shade that I grabbed out is the Endless Pearl from the L'Oreal Infallible line. This is just a soft, like, it might have just a hint of a gentle sheen, but that's the shadow that's packaged like this with the little stopper. Man, I've not used these in a while. Yeah, it's somewhere walking the line between a matte and like a barely there satin finish. For lips, I found a few kind of like liquid lip product things that are definitely non-drying and kind of staining and nice. One of them is the Revlon Color Stay Moisture Stain. Where have these been? I love these. This is in the shade Barcelona Nights, but really lightweight, like liquid lipstick texture when you get started, but they're kind of like an opaque stain, if that makes any sense. They're comfortable, and there really is some moisture to them when you put them on, but that color will stain and hang around. And then over the weekend, I was wearing the Kathleen Lights lip colors in her latest collaboration with ColourPop, and one of them was an ultra satin lip. I can't remember the shade name, but it was a pretty corally shade, and there was kind of a new gloss that I put on top. I wouldn't have had to, because the ultra satin lips I think are very comfortable, and it caused me to look to my collection and dig out some more ultra satin lips from ColourPop. I think I really prefer these over their matte lips because they have good staying power. There's a nice cling to the lips, but they don't feel dry. And so the shade I'm wearing right now is Lost, this beautiful red. Not a super bright like Fire Engine red. It's got a little bit of a muted tone to it, but I really like that. I also grabbed out these three sort of neutral shades. This one is Dopey right here, this kind of cool mauve. Tulips right here, kind of a brownish shade, and then November is this soft peachy pink. So I really want to get more use out of that formula. I have a bunch of them on hand that had been sent to me, but I just hadn't dug in as much as I would have liked. So now I'm doing it. But that, my friends, is my Shop My Stash situation for this, I guess, month, you might say, although I'm just doing it every so often. I'm doing it when I feel compelled to do it. And I have heard from so many of you since the last video who said I went and got one of those caboodles that you mentioned, or I ordered one on the Ulta website. So it's like now we've got our own little sisterhood slash brotherhood of people who, you know, appreciate this big old thing. But it's fun. Is it not so perfect for Shop My Stash stuff? I love that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.